Hello, everyone. This is Highway's Woman. Date is January 11th, the year 2022. Time 2 p.m. Good numbers for me. Nice round numbers. Well, medical murder. Real time medical murder. You can watch it as it happens. The real reality medical channel on YouTube is with Highway's Woman because I'm going to show you what they're doing. And if I am able to connect with people who are intelligent, who are truly pure souls, because they will reach out to me. Because when you got evidence that absolutely slams a gavel down, finalizing we don't need to go any further. We know they're guilty. We know who is guilty. Know it. National Organization for the Ethical Treatment of Humans and my sister organization, WOET, Women, World Organization for the Ethical Treatment of Humans. Women. I created this. I am its creator, its founder. I love and cherish my human rights organizations because they do fight for human rights, unlike the other ones who are just, so many are just a front for your dollars. And they'll stay all day long calling your number. Calling numbers, going to work on your behalf. Our police department is being defunded. And I ask them, well, you want my help? You want me to donate money? Okay. Well, you see, there's somebody who's during the badge. I got friends. Their badge is clean. I got this one, his badge ain't clean. I don't like it. When I know that they're a good sister and brothers, they're working real hard. They're helping. They care. And because of a tarnishment among them, we know how that goes. But they hang up. They hang up. Well, I'd be more than happy to donate to you. You want my help? Well, help me. You have access to investigators. You're talking to American citizens. If you really are interested in helping out, if you really are concerned about our well-being and our rights, but you got access to all kinds of data, all kinds of info, all kinds of evidence. We can stop this mess. We can stop the mess. It just takes somebody like me to put it together and show it. My background, my education. I am like no others. I am like no others. And that works a lot in my advantage because there are sure a lot of people out there who are somehow, for whatever reasons, and we know lots of reasons this can happen, their mind gets taken over. They think things don't apply to them and they can just do whatever they want to. There's times I've told them, I said, I wouldn't do that if I was you. Oh, we can do whatever we want. No, you can't. Oh, yes, we can. I'm going to show you. I'm going to get my base together. Come over there. Got a whole bunch of tarnished ones among the righteous. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, I can see how that is. Yeah. But you can't do what you want, what you're doing. First law says you can't. What's first law? It is best to not know the difference between right and wrong and then do wrong than it is to know the difference between right and wrong and then do wrong. If children knows the difference between right or wrong, there is no excuses for adults. Even in some of the most terrible mental health issues, there is always that knowledge between right and wrong. You don't even really have to be taught it, you can feel it. How do you become reattached to your soul? Because they shut that down. And they built their religion to shut that down and dumbify everybody. So how do you get your soul in control and get the brain back where it's supposed to be? And that's backing up the mind, the soul. It'll generate that. It's a living computer. It can send out signals and it can pick up with whatever signal it wants. When you start listening to what you feel, here comes that vibration. What did it feel like? What feelings changes inside of you? Even what things did you see? Was it a or was it a when you stand up for what is right and you take down what is wrong, you are in your element of pure soul. We are generators. We all know that. Yeah, we can sure affect the way the entire planet thinks just by the thought of one person. How is that? Well, when you get your mind freed, then you'll start being able to see things because your soul can sense it, and that's what it does. Your soul will sit there and reveal what that is. This didn't feel right. Or that look when they turned around and looked at me as they were leaving. What was that? That's a setup? You're going off with my truck? You got it planned out. Well, the husband who's working with his mechanic, she's an ordained minister. I trust her. I know for a fact, for the most part, she don't lie. She does sometimes. That's because, like so many, they can't hardly stand it when they are being brought out to the light, because that's what it means by that I will show thy nakedness. And literally, it feels like, it has that feeling that you're completely nude and out exposed for all the world to see. That's why they come after you. You see? Because that's a reprobate mind. We got a lot of reprobate minds. Got a lot of them. Because we've got all these programmings coming in through videos and movies and games and songs and rituals. Oh, it's just Burning Man, where everybody comes together with their art, and it's pretty amazing. I don't quite like. There's just some things that I would feel more comfortable about if they would kind of raise the bar. So we'll talk softly like that. Now, among all these reality shows, this is the creating medical murder. How is it that, as my medical professors when I was getting my doctorates in radiology and gastroenterology, my radiological professors. Remember, Catherine, there are always those who graduate in the back of the class. Now, we have identified that bunch, but there's another one. There's a second type of bunch in this three bunch that inhabits the medical field, any kind and every kind. And that is, it's a little higher. So you say this: not everyone who is in medicine belongs in medicine. There are very highly functioning social psychopaths. It's also a Luciferian dream. You know, Luciferian, demonic, this, these that they claim that they are, Church of Satan and what have you, you know. I don't know. I don't think there is, I don't know how to decipher that between, or split it up between, what is mental illness, because that looks like a lot of mental illness to me. I know there are real true mental illness, and then there's like this, these who come, these who will violate sacred grounds. So not everyone who is in medicine belongs in medicine. Now I want to tell you about me. Right now, well, I'm actually doing what I said I going to do and have been doing for a little while now, documenting my death. And how is it being done? I am one of these people that I will have acquaintances come up and tell me that they know that I cannot be bought. And if I ever ran for any type of position, they would most certainly vote for me. That's a high compliment. If I were to take any position in leadership, I will need those who are dedicated, who are like me, who I would consider in my soul tribe. That's a problem. That's a big problem. So, I want to overcap something right quick for those who may be just joining us. I was put on hospice in September 2020. I have multiple tumors. It's called DERCUMS, DERCUMS. It's listed in one of the top 10 most painful diagnoses. I also have had an illegal surgery where they opened me up and they pulled my insides out. And I got this interesting device that sits in my colon, about 3 inches, 3.5 inches in diameter. It is now sitting outside. It's right there. I know what people mean for they did this to me. Abdominal seizures. I thought that was the most peculiar, most oddest thing I ever heard. Now, I hold two records in medicine. That's very strange to me. Doesn't make sense to me. I hold two records in medicine. One of them is that I accomplished and was performing their tests, and they're very elaborate tests being done pretty much kind of unbeknownst to me. I kind of had a suspicion after a little while that, I'm kind of getting a lot more testing being done on me than the other colleagues, whether they were in my year or the others on up who haven't quite got their degrees just yet, their license. And here's what the results showed. They validated this. I was at the position, and not only did I reach that level that I'm there. But I also was performing. That means I knew how to use what I learned. The information that they gave me, they taught me, I learned. I knew how to use it. I knew how to use it. I accomplished that within 8 months of my very first year. And I have doctors and they would professor, all kinds of people going, you were a paramedic before you entered in. No, no, was it? EMT. No, no, not even basic first aid. Not even that. I loved medicine and I loved seeing what it did for people. Most beautiful thing it is among the most beautiful things I've ever seen. It's all I wanted to do. I didn't want to be anyplace else. I want to be right there with all those who are like me, who sit there and here comes a loved one, and because we know the body very well. At this time in our history, we knew it very, very well. And we had modalities that could sit there and put the image on a film and show where there is a problem, even even before with some of them it's had time to create symptoms that it's there. One of the most finite sensitive imaging machines, the MRIs. Phenomenal. You got an MRI, there is no such things as missing anything in surgery. Not anymore. Unless you got those. Because remember, not everyone in medicine belongs in medicine. There are those who change a surgical table into a sacrificial altar. The exam procedure rooms become torture chambers. That's why so many, especially in our young, they don't like going to doctors. They don't like seeking the medical field. They don't like having these health problems. And that we are given these health problems because we would be very healthy if they would stop, if these, we need to get them out of here. Let's show what's happening. So, I have this device that abdominal seizures. When I got out of the hospital and I was at home, zzz, shocked the living daylights out of me. Oh, oh, painful. God dang painful. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. That's your entire insides, all organs, even reproductive. What did I do with my drink here? Oh, that up. Took me a little while to figure out how to knock it out. Well, at least where they couldn't shock me. You know, watch I don't know Dr. Moreau with Russell Crowe and Marlon Brando. Very, very good. It's exactly what they're doing. So I have these tumors head to feet and in the bone, in organs, and I even have one that you can feel real easily that's here. It's about the size of a tennis ball. And so I also got this. This is the broken bone. This is how I found out the tumors were in the bone, had made it into the bone because I fell and I went to catch myself and the ulna broke right at the head and it also dislocated my elbow and tore up some tendons and stuff. I'm not allowed to get that fixed. Why? Because there's too many people who get well on my medicine. because too many people get better when they consult me. And cases sure seem to get resolved awfully quickly when they sit there and they think that they can do whatever they want to me, because this is the way that the spiritual realm works, because we are in spiritual warfare. They're going to bring you across these people. You're going to have an opportunity. Record, record, record. And I mean record everything and anything. It takes out that mindset, he said, she said routine. You just go play it. There you go. See? Yeah, that's what they did. Yep. Take them down. Absolutely. Take them down. Get rid of them, because you're not supposed to entertain evil. You're not supposed to allow it to come in and be among you. You're not supposed to help it like, well, I'll help you get saved in Jesus, okay? No, you're told, you get it out of there. You get it out of there. You don't allow it to remain, because all it needs is a foot inside the door. It's in. That means all it needs is one tiny root. It's rooted then. You don't have to have any more. One root. It's rooted. It's like a USB, like clicking in a port. There you go. You're not supposed to allow it to live. Not supposed to allow it to be among you. Take it in and have it do just about the front half of a temporal lobe. Do the right side, and all of a sudden you'll have a person who cannot do enough right, who can only speak the truth. Now, Nance, look that up, look that video up, and now you'll catch up to it, okay? They can't, and I know this. They can't go against spiritual laws. They can't hurt. The temporal lobes are called the God areas for good reason. They know that when a person, for whatever reason, that there's damage to the temporal lobe, and the remaining temporal lobes will become highly active, very activated, and they will reroute to areas of the brain that no others have access to. They're not using it. And not all injuries will reroute connections access like the temporal lobe. There are certain things that each lobe has its specialty. And the temporal lobe will make you highly spiritual, make you very spiritually connected, and you will see you have abilities. You will see things coming off your hands. You will see that when you enter into a room, that how all of a sudden things change, or that you are starting to work in your yard and want plants and stuff, and all of a sudden there's species popping up everywhere that you never planted. But my dear beloveds, they're beautiful. Yeah. That's what the soul is about. Things that prosper and come up without effort. But there are many things we have to put the effort into. My doctor, December of 2021, after a lot of research into cancer, I asked to have very specific blood work done, very specific tests. We are going to look for cancer markers. That's easy to do. All you need is a little bit of blood, and they can tell you all kinds of things, what's going on and where it's going on at. So, oh yeah, made the mistake of trying to help those autistic kids who had predatory pedophiles on them. They don't like me. They hate me, but they may hate me, but I loathe them. Since especially 2002, when I discovered the hidden bank account, they had multiple identical checkbooks. Oh, this, and it turns out that's the bank account the state of Oklahoma had been looking for. They've been suspecting that they've been robbing these kids blind, stealing from the government, think they can do whatever they want to with it. That's the arrogance of evil. It will destroy itself. It will reveal itself. And when it does that and it's naked, then it comes after you. So my doctor, he has secretly known that I have the markers hit for cancer for a little while, for a few years now. Trying to get these tumors biopsy, he won't do it. If I go to a specialist, he will not send any documents about why I am going to that specialist. Now that's an unspoken code. Don't help this person. Just give them a hard time. Demean them. Demean them. Even drive them to wanting to take their life. Suicide by medicine. Medical assisted suicide, not Kevorkian style. Dr. Kevorkian was among the most compassionate men and physician in medicine. He doesn't belong behind jail. He belongs in front of all of us, with us being behind him. Got these other ones like my primary. He's a man. He's a male. He's a male, married, couple daughters. He doesn't seem to like the fact that in 2018, with the state of Oklahoma working through Attorney General Mike Hunter being positioned with his staff, there was fields of medicine I knew about. And I wanted our leaders to look good, and I wanted the people to get their pain medicine, their proper medicine, pain management given back. Doctors were protected. I am very honored that not only did I come in and laid down the information and the groundwork, that these people took it the rest of the way, and it ended up making a history too. Fastest law ever compiled, passed, went into effect in the history of Oklahoma government. Very admirable. Doctors could write for pain medications, and there's nothing anybody can do to them. It's hands off. There's also supposed to be an anesthesiologist in every designated pain management clinic. So I did this. Now you would think that I would have the praise of Oklahomans. I would have the praise of Oklahoma government, that I would have their assistance. They would be giving me their assistance if I didn't have so many who were interfering, like denying to send my mail outside of Elk City. Postmaster's gone. And so the next day, go back in. I'm going to talk about this. That I had this. It had the office of what Oklahoma State office it was going to. They wouldn't accept it. This person wouldn't accept it. And nobody was going to come over and help me with this situation. Couldn't mail it. Nope, can't mail it. I need to get it out. And of course, all of a sudden, she disappeared the next day. She wasn't there. Oh, she was a loner. It's quite interesting how that works, isn't it? They just shuffle them around. So, my doctor has known how severe my health is. Coughing up blood. That started in 2017. The cancer markers I've got does direct that one of the places we need to focus on is lung cancer. We need to go in there and do some testing to see if it is in my lungs, if it's true. So right now it stands to be true until I can test it otherwise. And that was 2 years ago. No, more than that. 2017. 2017. So this is very hard to talk about. I know everybody needs this information, but this is not easy to talk about. This isn't the first time that I was murdered by doctors. The first time I was murdered was when I had 2 years ago, and I would have my precious doctorate, my license as a doctor of radiology, and doctor of gastroenterologist. Enterology. I would have been a specialty physician when a fatal tumor showed up right in front of the pituitary gland, not in it, in front of it. And this was in 1991. There's only two doctors who could do this operation, and the patient lived to talk about it. There's only two. The doctor who came in and did the surgery did not tell my husband, my parents, my grandparents, my siblings, any of this information. What I'm telling you, I would later find out after my life was completely destroyed. For when he did the surgery, and it's Dr. Jeffrey Cohn, neurosurgeon, in Amarillo, Texas. He did it. He told I and all my loved ones that he had removed it, the tumor, and for right 4 solid weeks. I mean, it even before I got out. Well, actually, I had my first seizure moments after within a few minutes, to take me to my ICU room. That was the first sign that what Jeffrey Cohn did to me. He would tell everybody that I was just a drug seeker, Dr. Jumper. I would, 4 weeks later, have a different doctor at a different medical facility. I had an MRI done on my brain. I needed to see what he had done, what's going on. And you can imagine my shock when I read the radiology report talking about a meningioma in the front of the pituitary gland. Well, that's supposed to be removed. But I'm getting diagnosed with it. It's 100% fatal. It has to be removed. It's 100% fatal. And that proved to be true. Out of all the Oh my God, the seizures were just multiplying, 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 getting things more and more, just shouting, there is something very wrong. And I did there. You got to go to a psychiatrist. We are going to see if you got an addictive personality. And thankfully, that I would get with some of the best in their field. And they prove she has zero, she shows zero signs of being a drug addict, having an addictive personality, of being deceptive. And they feared for my well being if I did not receive the proper medical care that my situation warrants, demands of medicine from it, demands it. They act like, well, you got to be kind of privileged. I know that will determine what you get, what you don't get. That's not the way it's supposed to work. But boy, they sure have turned it into that way, haven't they? Yeah. We ended up being true, 100% fatal. Only 13 months later, when that happened, I happened to be in the hospital just by 10 hours. They worked 14 minutes on this body before they got me back. I was a healer when I went to heaven. When I return, I'm an extraordinary healer. That's the other thing that pisses them off. Because they sure don't like it that when I come in and I go, there you go. There you go. I am healing too many people. I'm helping too many people. I help Oklahomans get their pain medicines back to them and protect the hands of the doctor who's right for them. So why would anybody say to me, why would one doctor say to me, because what others have done, we're going to crucify you, medically crucify? They have just said, I have to pay the price for the sins that others commit. Well, doctor, I don't even know how you know what my diagnoses are. What do you mean by that, Miss Catherine? Well, you're going by all those other people. There's so many of them, means that their files are stacked on top of mine. Mine's on the very bottom. You have no idea what you're talking about. You have no idea about my situation because you're looking at all those other people. You see how stupidity slipped in there? Y'all catch that? Y'all catch it? That's a virus of thought. That's what I've been teaching. Virus of thought. That's a virus of thought. That doesn't belong among the educated. Where do you get that? Where do you get that that's okay? Yeah, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to make you suffer. I'm going to take away your medical care. And I can justify my disgusting evil actions by saying, well, because what others have done. That's stupidity. That's stupid talking. That's a lower spirit. It doesn't belong. See what happened? See what happened when nobody said anything about it? And I'm going to get on to some of you out there because you've been sitting on your lazy butts and you're not been reporting these doctors, these therapists, don't matter who they are, these in medicine, and I'm not going to go, it goes everywhere, but I'm speaking right now about medicine, okay? Because right now I'm being medically murdered because I helped too many of you. You got access to information that they don't want you to have. And they are suffering me. They're suffering me. Oh, yeah, indeed they are. So, I'm sitting here, people aren't calling in. They aren't making files. They're not filing against doctors, not against these people you're not filing on. So, what can your leaders do if the people are not holding up their part of their responsibility and let them know what's going on? They can't take on a problem if ain't nobody complaining about it. And they're not going to do anything about it if there's a small minority. Why would they want to work if you don't have the backing of the majority? So while you all out there, you know who I'm talking about. So you other people who are not like these people, don't sit there and write anything hateful. Sit back and smile and know this isn't for me. It's for you. You need this lining out. You need this education because when a child knows right from wrong as an adult, you absolutely have no excuse. None. Even with mental health problems. For the vast majority of them, they still know the difference between right or wrong. So that's the age of accountability. Age of accountability is when you know the difference between right and wrong. So absolutely, doctors know the difference between right and wrong. So why is it that I got a doctor who is fighting me, who is refusing to cooperate with other doctors so I can get things fixed, so I can get the care that I need? Because there is a marriage between natural medicines and our created medicine that when you use them correctly together, is absolutely phenomenal. And also achieve that it does no harm. Okay? So that's not, we're not saying all of man's medicine is evil. No, it's not. Why would we curse ourselves like that? We have to go in and find those who don't belong where they have gotten into. So I sit here with part of my intestines outside my abdominal, my abdomen, and it's brought out that object. It's like God saying, how much more stupid do you want to play? It's like really God having the most evidence and he's shoving it in man's face. Tell me you don't see that. Oh, you don't see it? How about feeling it? Because, baby, I tell you what, it's sticking out there. It's sticking out there. I got enough intestines outside my abdominal cavity that I stick out. And I'm also flooding up with toxins. But it's right there. It's right there. Right there. You see that popping over there? That's because it's bulging out. Right there it is, folks. Right there. 2008, John Glasgow, Altus, Oklahoma, John Tran. They did that to me. Never consented. Never told me they were doing any surgery on me whatsoever. So anyway, yeah, they want me dead. They've been trying to kill me for a long time. Do you guys? Let me ask you this: who would you rather donate to, fund? Because I see all over YouTube, there's a lot of these Patreon, and I see a lot for makeup and clothes and wigs, and I'm not knocking them, but I sit there and I sit there and wonder. I have done so much helping the world, and I really need people coming on and sharing that I helped them, what I did for them. Wow, we're really in a bad situation, aren't we? When you have access, you've been brought across this path, and you're being shown here is where I am. I don't care who you call the heavenly beloveds. They're showing you by their fruits you will know them. By their fruits you will know them. I'm sitting here right now. I got a person that's got a husband, been diagnosed with a brain tumor, thought he had a stroke, but nope, got a brain tumor. Yeah, they're doing CAT scans. Oh, nope, first sign of trouble right there. Never want to use CAT scans on the head. Nope, 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 nope. Don't do it. Don't do it. MRI right off the bat. They suspect a stroke. They're going to go to the head. No CT scans. MRI scan. Yes. CT scan. No. No. CT scans are good as a PET scan. Outside of it, I prefer MRIs. And so I told this person, because I seen where they said that they are, and I thought, yeah, oh. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to tell them how to get a hold of Dr. Takanori Fukushima, the number one neurosurgeon in the entire world. You do not get any better than this man. You send your MRIs to him, MRIs, not CAT scans. Don't insult him because he knows. He knows what he should be getting. But I also understand that there are doctors who do things to people, but they know they're not benefiting them. So send them what you got. And it's unbelievable how he does this. But you'll hear from him by a week later, 1 week later. Now he's up in his 80s now because when he worked on me, he was 51 years of age, and I'm right at 30 years past my surgery. The temporal lobe. Dr. Cone did damage to my temporal lobe. And so they know that I don't have the ability to lie. And no one does that have had this surgery done. And they become overly wanting to help. And that I knew what was going on. And I really, really was hating that's they were using me. They were using they're using all of us. They know we can predict or know things. And so they're siphoning off of us. And this is one of the ways they're doing it. And but at the same time it did serve me a purpose. And that is because I was so wounded, I was so hurt, so betrayed, not just by the medical field, but sadly my family has been under the attack as so many have, and evil has done its damage. But that tell you, they killed me October 1992, December 21st, 1992. Dr. Fukushima performed my operation. So for Christmas, I got my life saved. He saved my life. And not only saved my life, but I came out, I knew who my parents, I knew who my loved one is, my soulmate. And it'd be a long, hard road. And I made it back. I made it back. I made it back to me. They had for a while taken a lot of my memory, but through soul, I got it back. And not only now, I was incredible before that. Now, after that, after my death, after what they did to me, pretty awesome. I have healed people, completely full body healed them. Very rare, very, very rare that's ever happened. It amazed me when it happened. But I don't know what the arrangements was before they came down. 1 second. Interruption call. Figures. Well, 50 minutes. I didn't know that it already gone this long. I thought it read 30. I'm going to have to kind of wrap this up, get to the point. I know the doctor because I got the blood work from previous few times that he's done it. And see that he has known that about the cancer, and it's throughout the body. And he is refusatory to do anything to help me. He will not cooperate with, like I said, other doctors. He will not order the tests. He's always doing something to throw a wrench into it. Now, you are probably thinking, well, you can just go to another doctor. No, you cannot do that. And don't allow anybody to sit there and tell you, because that's a virus of thought. Hello, do you remember where we're at with the medical profession right now? We've got a lot of problems with it that we're sorting the weeds from the flowers. And there's a heck of a lot of weeds. And it's going to take all of us working together. You have got to make your phone calls. Do not give up with them. Call your state leader. Call your federal representative, your senator, and talk to the one who's over health issues. That's what you do. If your state medical licensing board will not do its job, then you get hold of the federal medical licensing board. If your medicines are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, that's an adverse reaction. You need to call that pharmaceutical company, report it, get a case number on it. Every year, at the end of the year, in December, all pharmaceutical companies have got to hand over all complaints, everything. And so the way that the leaders and everyone at the FDA all know, that's a pulse. Put the finger right there. They can know what's going on. It's your job. Don't just stop with calling a pharmaceutical company. Don't stop by submitting, writing down all the information, give it to your doctor. Call the FDA. Tell them about it. And anybody else that comes to mind or you come across, because that is spiritual warfare. They are helping to bring you across so that you become more and more informed so you can help out more. Instead of being these people that here we are, those of us in the trenches, you imagine having people strapped to your back and you're trying to get up a side of a trench and here's the enemy and you're there for them, but all they're doing is sitting on your back, eating whatever they want to, gaining weight, not lifting a hand. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. Because now is the time. Now is the time. Everybody is being pressured because you're going to make a decision. You got choice between two things. You have one choice between two. Either you are for what is good, what is righteous, noble, virtuous, or you're not. You will make a decision. You are nobody special at this point. And remember what it says also, the prophecies. Even the leaders, there will be a great many of them who will have been deceived. Well, if you have not been making phone calls in, then you bear some of that responsibility. that they got deceived, because there's a lot more in government than you think. There's a lot more good souls in government than you think. And the thing you don't want to do is think that there's not, and use that as a point of apathy, that justification that, there just aren't any good leaders these days. Oh yeah, there is, and I'm sure the good ones will not appreciate being lumped in that comment. And so, folks, my doctor, multiple cancer markers. I am dying. My heart is now succumbing to all the injuries and the lack of him helping. I made a call into him over a sudden event eruption in my right foot. It grew of considerable size and had this reddening come up and bend to the ankle, and this was something very, very hard. And I have a blowout pocket at the bottom of my foot. And I called his office for the nurse to call me back about this, because this is very excruciating. And I received no phone calls back. When I was there on December 16th, he amped up the dirtiness. So I understand why he didn't call me. Here's why he didn't call me. When I was there on the 16th, there were some things that were done to me that was not my fault, and could end up being very, very costly, very harmful to me. It would be nothing to him to have helped me. And he goes on with about because what others have done. And I flat have had enough of anybody saying that to me, that I will not allow it to be said to me anymore. And he is a type that, well, if you're going to back anything I say, you better believe I am. Because he's also the reason why I don't have my mother living with me right now. Because he left her UTI, her urinary infection, get into every organ, including her brain. He denied her proper treatment for a year. And it finally went into her brain, and it was very obvious when that happened. And so when I sat there and tell him that, why is it that I get this feeling like you are not pleased at all that I am the one who was responsible for your ability to write pain medicine, and that Oklahomans got it back. And he flies off the handle. You see, whenever I say something that is correct, when they fly off the handle like that, that tells me I've hit the right nerve. I hit the right truth nerve. I guess I'm a woman and I'm not supposed to be able to accomplish those things. Or I don't have the right name, or do I not have the right color, or whatever it is that they use, or they're going to do whatever they want to. So when he called in my medicines, it's 3 hours. When I was in that meeting for a month and a half, I battled trying to get my heart righted. My blood pressure was skyrocketing. I was having a lot of difficulties in speaking with him. I was obviously, you could tell something was very, very wrong. And he decided that he's gonna whip me. He's gonna show me. So he calls the medicine to here where I live instead of there where I'm at. It means it doesn't matter that I get back here tonight. It's a 3 hour drive. Each way it's a 3 hour drive. I would not be able to get that heart medicine until the next day if I lived through the night, even because every day I was battling not to die. No easy feat. And so it took the doctor on call to write it. So here's where good comes in. I got some heavenly help, and that doctor immediately got it called in where I was at. And within the hour of taking that heart medicine for the first time in over a month and a half, my body was at ease. It was an excellent feeling. So I will be seeing this man. A few hours I'll be seeing him. I ask for your prayers because I've been very hard in prayer over this. Because things right now are very, very bad for me. And I literally do not know how much longer can I hold in there. I have been having these videos showing what they have done, what they're doing to me. And they are finally reaching their culmination. It's all coming together from the beatdowns to the false arrests and false imprisonments and doing everything they can to change public opinion towards me. Of course, because if the public talked with me, then they would find out the truth and they would learn that that person that they thought they could trust thought them quite a fool. And so they want to lash out at me. They want to silence me for their behaviors, for their decisions they make. You probably have noticed the same sickness in loved ones or heard friends, those that you care about, those you love, that's going on with their family. That's what I mean by the sickness. That's the sickness. You know, it's good that dying is such a long process. It really does need to be a process because there can be a lot of beauty found in it because we are so powerful and so gifted that we can find beauty even in the most darkest recesses. I got to see people healed. I saw animals healed. I watched people come together for a great common good. And at the same time, I, like so many, I have been a lone wolf. Not because I wanted it. No, I didn't want it. It's just the way that it worked out. Because they got us so scattered that people will have a hard time zeroing in where they need to help out at. And there's a lot of them, this isn't their fault. But when things come along to you that are awakening, and this is an awakening, take advantage of it. Because I promise you, when you find out, when you start connecting with your soul, there's no way that nobody's going to be able to tell you that you're crazy or that's of the devil, because you didn't come in here naked. You came in here fully armed. And they know that. The soul is the most powerful device that's on this planet. It's more powerful than their electromagnetic godlike technologies. What you think it's, so it shall be. That's why that they always want to control what you think. If they got you thinking in a defeatist mentality, that's how they're defeating us. Because if you're thinking about the people overcoming evil and evil being ridded from places from everywhere, that's exactly what's going to happen. They can't have you thinking like that. And God is going to bring people like me across your path, and He's going to go, are you so willing to watch this, what they're doing to her? Knowing full well that I've made with the Attorney General, look what I did for the state of Oklahoma. Are you so sure that this person who did not get paid, she gifted this? And I had people come after me over it because they didn't want anybody where I live find out about that. And so they went in, they erased it off my computer because they don't want people knowing that I'm really the good person and they're the ones doing evil. How do you know who's doing evil? They ain't gonna be speaking well of me. So I'm to the point, I know that I may seem like that I've got a lot of energy and I'm doing very well. No, I'm not. Right now I am in a great amount of pain and it's worsening. I feel myself tiring and I wish that I wouldn't because there's things that I need to do and I don't think they're going to happen even today. I'm just so tired. I'm just so tired. I'm very tired. I tried getting with attorneys and getting with offices and again, and they've got me blocked. I cannot get outside lines. I cannot get help. They always want to pick a fight with me because when they start finding out that what all is going on, then they'll sit there and intentionally start carrying on. I don't have to participate in it. They only need to be the one to do it and then hang up and say, well, that she hung up on me. And now then they make phone calls to other places so they don't talk with me. And this has been going on for a lot of years, folks. A lot of years. This is how you kill people. I can't get anything imaged. I can't get it biopsied. I am not permitted to get broken bones fixed. And believe me, I got more than this broken. I've got broken ribs. I got lots of other things because I've been battling evil for a long time. And it sure wants to take me out. And the accumulation of the damage is doing it. And making sure that I don't get the proper treatment, they are succeeding in it. And so I don't know how this is going to turn out. I like to think that maybe there is a miraculous healing for me, that my body's taken back to blueprint. I've done it for others. Maybe God has one for me, or maybe it is that I don't know. Sometimes I think that what they're doing is seeing if people would hear them and hear them through me, and finally be in support of me, because all my life I've done this, and done this. And I kid you not, I've taken my school on to an all win, no loss basketball season, and more and more. I got records everywhere. So maybe they're wanting to see if people will hear. I think that if they would, I really think that you will see a very big miracle in this world, because don't think that I'm talking foolishness. Because remember, they always teach it only can take one. Well, yeah, sure, sure. Especially somebody who knows what they don't want you knowing, especially about your soul. Because I tell you, if you understood the real powers and abilities of the soul, because right now there are those of you can't comprehend what I'm saying, because you have been programmed to where that your mind cannot imagine it. And then you got these back doors where they go, that's of the devil. You do that to the devil. Even though they tell you to be like Jesus, be like Jesus. Well, Jesus manipulated the weather, turned it from a raging storm into a peaceful night on the lake, on the waters. Cast out demons, healed poor and healed lame, made them walk again, all of it. I've done that. Remember what Lily Tomlin once said, why is it when we talk to God we call it prayer, but when God answers back we call it schizophrenia? I know what real schizophrenia is, and that's people who have gone into consulting and being with demons. Or they take their children and they sacrifice it to it. And then say that, oh, well, this Leonardo DiCaprio. Father said, well, he's always been such a special, you know, child, that person. He's like a medium, like he can just open up and he can absorb, the epitome, the embodiment of that spirit of that in that play. Oh, just open up in that spirit of that character in that play. So you've been, yep. DiCaprio dad talks about this, about his son like this, back to his childhood. So guess what daddy did? It ain't just daddy either. I don't want this coming in. So look what parenting is doing. Certain parents cause a lot of problems. We need everybody in. You should have it. You need to be calling your congressmen, your leaders, and start demanding that the first copy of your medical records are to be free. No more ransoming medical records. and make it where that immediate repercussion happens. If they tell you no, call the police are there, they are divorce law that this person demanded to get their medical records, and you must give them to them right now or within a feasible time, 1 or 2 hours, or go to jail, be hit with a big fine, close this clinic down, medical facility, let's take away license. What does it take? It ain't going to happen unless you get in there and do it. And this is what you tell them because it's going to get their attention. No longer are we willing to be okay with ransoming our medical records for money. I already paid for the test. I've already paid for the test results. What do you mean that I got to put out money on paper and ink? How about if I bring the paper up here? Folks, that's nonsense. You've already paid for it. Your insurance paid for it. Doesn't matter if it is your insurance is the only way to pay for it. You better think about that as your own bank account because it is. If you don't protect it, they're going to rob it blind and you ain't going to have it. That's a big problem. That's what I've been dealing with for a long, long time. And it's amazing that how many people won't sit there and look at what is being charged. And you know what? They did this, but I didn't receive the treatment I should have gotten. Well, I'm going to this doctor, but this doctor's not giving me proper care. Because what is people like me going to do that the rest of you won't? Get in there and help. You're an adult. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Shake off this stuff, what they're telling you, what you got to be like, da 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 da. Start turning some of that stuff off. Stop being wanting to be entertained and start helping out. You need to. There's so many good people that are falling because of it. Think about who you're supporting. Discern. Be a good steward of your time and your money. Because I tell you, there's a lot of good people, a lot of people like me who are falling hard and fast because we've been abandoned. And, you know, the younger generations, yeah, you haven't had the parental guidance you should have had. But part of being a mature adult is that you work to correct that you don't allow that to become an excuse of not doing your part, what you should be doing, what you should be helping with. That when evil wants you to be a part of something that you know there's no good in it, don't do it. Don't do it. You got to stand up to it. Because evil wants you to think that the accountability, one, they don't want you thinking there is an accountability, that how stupid that is. I'm bringing home a baby bumblebee, want my mama to be so proud of me. Of your own free will. Free will. They cannot cross free will. You have to be willing to do it. You have to agree to it. And you agree with it when you don't do anything about it, when you see it. Everybody's held to this accountability. All of us are. I try to get to a place. I tried to make a break for it in May of 2021. And they made an attempt on my life and embezzled a lot of money on my truck repairs. So there's a lot of fake mechanical repairs, and I can't get any attorney. I can't get anybody to help. So they stopped me. They shut me down. And so they're getting me closer. I'm closer to going more than any now. More than any time I'm there. I can't take it no more. I'm either going to have to get complete healing, or maybe it's just not meant for me. Maybe it's not. Maybe this is all the further that I'm supposed to be. And I'm getting good with that because I can't handle the lies anymore, the hurt. I can't stand the hurt anymore. I just can't do it. I can't take not having being cared about and being so abandoned again. So all I can do is walk on down the line. I don't know how this is going to end, but at least it's going to be where everybody can see why that higher wage woman died, why higher wage woman was taken from you. Because once I'm dead, you will not have someone who knows how to take over the counter products. I can make the lame walk again in 3 days, by the third morning actually. Neuropathy, medicine says it can't be reversed. I've reversed it. If my cancer, if I knew about that in time, I could have cured it. I could have cured it had I been told the truth. Had I not had so many doctors, radiologists who are out to do these terrible things. You can go to my Facebook and you can look at these images for yourself, and you'll know I'm telling the truth. Look at where the object is that they put in me, because they're putting them in all of us. If you're having surgery, you got them in you. If you never had surgery, you're about to have surgery, you're about to have them in you. If you had dental work, you got them in you. Vaccines, you got them in you. Anyway, keep up. Don't stop fighting. Took them 59 years to get me to this point. 59 years. And believe me, I got some pretty good licks in. You bet I did. You bet I did. It wasn't all one way. Feels real good to do that. Especially where you can make your spirit, your soul do the greater amount of work, because there ain't the damage that can be done with soul energy. And you don't need a panel and control in front of this advanced physical technology, because this is a computer. This is a living computer. It is one of the most advanced natural and artificial technology. They don't want you to know that. Just now you know that. So what can you do? What can you do? Do you know how to read things? Do you know how to perceive it? Do you know how to make it work for your benefit so it benefits the good? the best way to learn is to lay down any books and for you to go into communication with higher powers and not go by what anybody else says, but what you know that is being said to you that is true, because they can put words and thoughts and feelings into you. And there are behaviors and frequencies that will tell you which one is talking to you, because you're not going to be told to take your life and put yourself in immediate harm way. Don't go by what others people are saying, in other words. Seek for yourself and as yourself. That's where you're going to become awakened and you're going to become who you are meant to be and who you really are, who you are as soul. And get on the right side of things, because those of us on the right side, we sure need a whole lot more of you people getting on our side. And for Pete's sakes, vote for right gun rights. Stop allowing that idiotic thinking to take the guns away. And I don't want to hear your anti-gun thoughts, because you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. There you go, another group that's under the sickness, the mind control programming. So you don't understand really what you're saying. Those of us who are going, don't talk, don't go against it. And no, we are not going to have these type of gun laws. Enough is enough, because we're not going to sit there and have the responsible paying for what the irresponsible does. Because if you want to sit there and take away guns so there is no more gun violence, well, then how about chopping your gonads off to stop rape? Pedophile. How about that? So, anyway, y'all take care. I'm going to go now, and maybe soon I'll be making another one, because I really have got to stop. The pain level, the pain level is getting too much, too much. And please keep me in your prayers, because food is hard to take in. It's hard to eat anymore. It hurts me. Anyway, for those who have loved me, supported me, I wish you all much success, safety, protection, and that we can defeat this COVID, this reprobate minds that are wanting to take us over. May we succeed. Pure over evil, virtue over evil, valor over evil, honor over evil, united over evil. Take care, everybody.